أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق، ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أول الخلق والعدد سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الأئمة المعصومين المنتجبين، ولا سيما حجة الله في الأراضين، روحي وأرواح المؤمنين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. The Heroes of Karbala is a vast subject to be able to cover in very short time. As I was sitting at home today and I got a call at 4 o'clock telling me that the Sheikh won't be able to make it, so could you please get ready within these 2 hours. So inshallah, with whatever I got ready within this short time, I will briefly present it before you so you and I could benefit from it, inshallah. So when it comes to the individuals in Karbala, each and every one of them is a hero. But I chose to break it down to speak about the most influential people who were on the day of Ashura. Imam Hussain alayhi salam being number one, Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam, and Ali al-Akbar. Starting with Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam, the first of the sacrifices that Ali al-Akbar had to make was that he had to put himself forward to save Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. What do I mean by that? When you go into history, many narrators narrate that Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam was the second son of Imam al-Hussain. Yet Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam chose to name him Ali al-Akbar. As you know, Akbar means the eldest, when he was the second son. What is the reason behind this? Because Banu Umayyah and Banu Abbas, they had this understanding that the eldest son of the Imam will inherit the Imamah from the current Imam. So to save the Imamah in Karbala, Imam alayhi salam had to name him Ali al-Akbar. So that's the first sacrifice that he had to make. He had to take the place of Imam Sajjad in order for Imam Sajjad to go and carry on the Imamah. Now when it comes to him leading to the battlefield, Imam Hussain alayhi salam makes a very bold statement. Keeping in mind that Imam, a Ma'soom Imam or a Nabi or any infallible, when they make a statement, they don't make it based on emotional or emotions, and they don't make it based on exaggeration. They're not there to see attention. So what does the Imam say? He says, Allahumma shhad ala ha'ula'i al-qawm qad baraza ilayhim غلام أشبه الناس بنبيك خلقا وخلقا ومنطقا كنا إذا اشتقنا لرؤية وجه رسولك صلى الله عليه وآله نظرنا إلى وجهه. So who's Ali al-Akbar in the eyes of Abu Abdullah? The Imam says to Allah, oh Allah, bear witness that the ghulam, the man who is going into the battlefield, he is someone who resembles your Prophet the most in khalq, in his looks, khulq, his akhlaq, wa mantiqa, in his speech to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Though Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam was in his beginning of his 20s, 21, 22, but the akhlaq that he had people could tell that this man resembles Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And as you know, the akhlaq of Rasulullah in the Quran, in Surah Al-Qalam, Allah says, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. He praises Rasulullah in a way that he tells him that you are at the peak of akhlaq. The akhlaq that you have, O Rasul, no one has gone beyond this, and no one will ever will. That very akhlaq was carried by this young man, by Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. That's number one. Number two, his speech. When he spoke, he reminded people of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So much so that when he left to the battlefield on the day of Ashura, people thought that the Prophet has come out to fight them. That's how much resemblance this man by the name of Ali al-Akbar has had. And his loss for Imam Hussain was so tough that he himself says on the body of Ali al-Akbar, على الدنيا من بعدك الفناء. I, Hussain, I see no taste in life after you, O Ali al-Akbar. So as you, we should see that this hero of Karbala, what does he teach me? How can I reflect some of his akhlaq into my life? Some of the speeches that he has learned from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, how can I reflect them into my life? For the heroes of Karbala, if you want to hold on any of them, eventually they will lead you to Allah. Any one of them. But the reason I said the most influential people, Imam Hussain, Abbas, and Akbar on the day of Ashura. If you were to look at their life, for example, when it comes to Salah, prayers, which is wajib, Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam from a very young age, let alone wajib Salah, he was someone who was keeping up Salatul Layl. Subhanallah. Salatul Layl, which is mustahab, from a very young age. This is how Imam Hussain raised him. Likewise, as a father, I should think, how should I raise my children? Don't just focus on wajibat. Why not touch on mustahabat as well? So that's number one, hero of Karbala. The second hero of Karbala, and what can I say about a man who is praised by ahlebait themselves? Abbas. وَمَا أَدْرَكَ مَا Abbas. A 33 years old man, still at the peak of his youth, yet what he has accomplished in Karbala has baffled the generations to come. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, he says in praise of Al-Abbas, إِنَّ لِعَمِّيَ الْعَبَّاسِ مَنْزِلَةً يَغْبِطُهُ عَلَيْهَا جَمِيعُ الشُّهَدَاءِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Imagine when the best of the servants of Allah are those who get martyred in the way of Allah. Those shuhada who got martyred in the way of Allah, when they see the level that Allah has granted Abbas on the day of judgment, they will feel envious of that level. So you can imagine what this man has done was life or history changing. A 33 years old man who has understood his Imam. He had the ma'rifah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And he is a lesson for your life. If I was to speak on my own, then I see that Abbas teaches me how should I deal with my Imam of time. What does Imam Sadiq alayhi salam say about him? Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, كان عمنا العباس نافذ البصيرة وصلب الإيمان. What does he mean? Our Uncle Abbas was someone who had a sharp foresight, very sharp foresight. A mu'min is recommended to have basira, but he did not just have basira, nafid al-basira. He did not need anyone to tell him what is haqq, what is batil. He himself, from what his father Ali ibn Abi Talib taught him, from what his brother Hassan taught him, from what Hussain alayhi salam taught him, he knew what to do, when to do, and what to do. I'll give you an example. Subhanallah. When Shimr and Umar ibn Sa'ad la'anahumullah on the day of Ashura, they were talking to one another. Umar ibn Sa'ad told Shimr, look how small the army of Hussain is and how great of an army we have. Shimr said to him, looks like you are underestimating one soldier in the Hussein's army. He said to him, what do you mean? Who is that soldier? He says that is Abbas, who is the son of Fatima, who happens to be from our tribe. You know, the mother of Abbas, al-Banin, she's from the same tribe like Shimr. So what does Umar ibn Sa'd tell him? He said to him, why don't you go and bring him onto our side? If you think he's so powerful that he will be able to fight us all on the day of Ashura, on the 10th day, then why don't you go and offer him? Give him something that will change him from the army of Abu Abdullah into the army of Yazid. Shimr goes and he says, he had the audacity, look at the way he called Abbas. He says to him, Ayna ibn al-Am. He went outside the tents of Imam al-Hussain and he says, where is the son of our uncle? Where's Abbas? Abbas alayhi salam chose to ignore him. Imam al-Hussain, being the Imam of kindness, being the Imam of mercy, he tells him, Ajib wa in kana fasiqa. Go, answer him, answer his call, even though he's a fasiq, still listen to what he has to tell you. Listening to Imam al-Hussain, he goes and speaks to Shimr la'natullahi alayhi. What does Shimr tell him? Shimr tells him, look, we have no problem with you. We want the head of Hussain. This is Nafid al-Basira, a sharp foresight of a 33-year-old man. He says to him, I give you protection to you and 3 of your brothers who were there in Karbala. You and your 3 brothers join us and we will be with Hussain alayhi salam. What do you think he would say? You know, an army of 30,000 against an army of 72, that's a very good deal, very good offer. At least I'll keep my life. Abbas told him without thinking, أَتُؤْمِنُنِي وَابْنَ بِنْتِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ لَا أَمَانَ لَهُ. Do you grant me safety when the son of the daughter of Rasulullah has no safety? لَعَنَكَ اللَّهُ وَلَعَنَ أَمَانَكَ. May Allah curse you and Allah curse the security that you're giving me. How dare you? You have not understood who Abbas is. You've not understood who Abbas is. Abbas, on the night of Ashura, when Imam al-Hussain told them to leave, he has given them the offer. These people, they have their business with me, they want me. Why don't you go? The first one to stand and say, قَبَّحَ اللَّهُ الْعَيْشَ بَعْدَكَ يَا حُسَيْنِ. May Allah make this life ugly after you. What is the worth of this life? So, when I'm saying these lines, I want you to reflect, what do I understand from this man? What is he telling you? What is he telling me? That look how careful I am with my duty towards my Imam alayhi salam. You have an Imam as well. You have an Imam who's alive. Just like you had Hussain, we have Hussain as well now. Are we taking care of our Hussain just like Abbas did? This is a question that you and I should take from today. How connected are we with our Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif? Am I someone walking on the path of Abbas alayhi salam? Or am I just someone who praises what he did? Which is praiseworthy, no doubt. But what do I learn from him? Hero of Karbala. A hero, he becomes an example. And once he becomes an example, I should follow that example. So when Abbas alayhi salam, he did manage to take over the Euphrates, the water, he spoke to his own self. Look at the daraja of this man. He spoke to himself. He's talking to his own self. He says to his own self, you know, he could have just put some water in his hand and he could have had that water, quenched his thirst. He just touches the water, then he puts it back. What does he tell you here as well? Each and every detail these people have done on the day of Ashura is for reflection. Don't just read it and, you know, pass it. MashaAllah, they were great people. Okay, they were great. But why did Abbas not drink? Was it haram? Would Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam mind that Abbas had some water and I'm thirsty? He wouldn't. But Abbas speaks to himself, يا نفس من بعد الحسين موني وما كان لك أن تكوني. How can you quench your own thirst when your Imam of time is thirsty? The Imam is talking to himself, Abbas is talking to himself. Which you and I should think, okay, if he was so bothered about Hussein, am I really as bothered about my Hussein of time? Reflection. Think about it. He was so careful, so thoughtful of the Imam alayhi salam. As a youth, you follow Ali ibn Abi Talib. As youth who follow Imam al-Hussein, al-Abbas, and these 72 people. Where do I stand from this? So that's the second example from the Heroes of Karbala. The best of the all examples on the day of Ashura, with no doubt, is Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. For when you examine the devotion this man has had for Allah, it will leave you speechless. You will think, to what extent is this man ready, and what is he ready to give for the way of Allah, or in the way of Allah? In Ziyara Nahiya, our Imam, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajah Sharif, he addresses the Imam, his grandfather Hussain, and he says the first line, imagine the first line, what does he say? As-salamu ala man badala fillahi muhjatah. Like I said, don't just read and carry on reading. Reflect. What is being said? What is the meaning of being said? The Imam says, peace be upon the one who has, what does muhja mean? Muhja is the last drop of blood that is in your heart. The Imam says, peace be upon the one who has given the last drop of his heart in the way of Allah. This is Hussain alayhi salam. So devoted to Allah, so devoted. Not just Ali al-Asghar, who was 6 months old, not just Ali al-Akbar, not just Abbas, not just Habib, not just John, not just his ashab, the 72, not just his family. He was ready to give his whole existence for Allah. And you find this in Dua Arafah. How much love did Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam have for Allah? Few lines from Dua Arafah, and I will try to conclude for you. Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam in Dua al-Arafah, just towards the end, he asks rhetorical questions for you and I to reflect upon. What does he say? He says to Allah, ماذا فقد من وجد وما الذي وجد من فقد. As simple as these two lines. What does the Imam say? He who has found you, O Allah, what has he lost? And he who has lost you, what has he found? He summarized you. He summarized the whole life in this sentence. If you have Allah by your side, you have everything. You have one. Even though you might not have anything, but you have Allah. If you have everything, but you don't have Allah, then you have nothing. Simple. It's not rocket science for me to think about. If you have Allah, you're a winner. You don't have Allah, you're a loser. Physically on the day of Ashura, did Imam al-Hussain lose or did he win? Physically, he had to lose his life. But look at the winner today. Where is Yazid? Where is Amr ibn Sa'd? Where is Shimr? Where is the people who stood against Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam? They don't even have a grave for you to visit. Look at Karbala. Look at Abbas alayhi salam. Look at the companions of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. What do you say when you go to them? Assalamu ala al-Hussain wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussain wa ala ashab al-Hussain wa ala awlad al-Hussain wa ala ashab al-Hussain. These salutations were there when you and I were not there. They're here when you and I are here. They will remain when you and I will leave. These people have become eternal. Why? Because they have melted their existence in the existence of Allah. And Allah is infinite. If you do anything for Allah, Allah makes you eternal. You go against the will of Allah? Again, the same question is, where are they? Where are they? Another night in Ziyarah in Arafah, Imam wants you and I to think that every deal you do in life, make sure that Allah is the first, Allah is the middle, and Allah is end of it. He says, وَخَسِرَتْ صَفْقَةُ عَبْدٍ لَمْ تَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ حُبِّكَ نَصِيبًا. Any deal of your servant whom you have not granted your love to has lost. If you don't have love of Allah in your life, you can have anything. Anything. You have nothing. But if you have Allah and you have nothing, you have everything. Look at the examples of Abu Zar, for example. Look at the examples of Maytham al-Tammar. You know, a man who was just selling dates. You know, his job was someone who would sell dates. But Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib loved him so much that he would go to the market and tell him, Maytham, let me sell your dates on your behalf. You go and have some rest. Imagine that. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the gate of the knowledge of Rasulullah, Khayru awsiya illah. Ali comes to Maytham, he is very poor. They ask him, what is it that you like about him? You have so many companions, yet you approach him and tell him to rest. Why do you sell his dates for him? Why? He says, Ali loves the privacy of Ammar. Sorry, Ali loves the privacy of Maytham al-Tammar. Why? Because Maytham is in his privacy just like he is in public. He's not two-faced. He is with Allah in public just like he's with Allah in privacy. He's not going to be two-faced. In privacy is someone else. In public, because of the people, he has to do other things. He takes care of God consciousness in his privacy as well as public. Why? He was poor, yet he had Allah in his life. Imam al-Hussain, the hero of Karbala, this is exactly what he taught you. This is exactly what he taught you. And one of the last line that he would do on the day of Ashura before he was martyred, he would say to Allah that أَرَضِيتَ يَا رَبْ خُذْ حَتَّى تَرْضَى. Imagine the level a mind cannot comprehend. After giving everything he had, and now he's giving himself, he turns to Allah, he tells Allah, are you pleased? Take until you are pleased. The pleasure of Hussain is Allah's pleasure, and vice versa. It's not going to be, not for a moment did Abu Abdullah complain, not for a moment. He was grateful throughout the day. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah, to Allah we shall return. We belong to Allah 72 times in one day. Did he complain? Not even once. Not even once. Losing Ali al-Asghar, imagine, alhamdulillah, I have children, and on the day of Ashura, when they were at the age of 6 months old, this thought came into my mind. Is it really easy to give a child who is 6 months old? Very tough. Really hard. Prior to getting married and having children, you think, okay, it's a great sacrifice. But once you have that feeling of fatherhood, it becomes different. How does he welcome that arrow? He says, and this is something that gives me goosebumps every time I read it. It never gets old. He says, هَوَّنَ مَا نَزَلَ بِي أَنَّهُ بِعَيْنِ اللَّهِ. Allahu Akbar. He says, what makes this easy for me, that Allah is watching. He's watching, I'm pleased. If he's pleased, Hussain is pleased. But look at what's happening. Brutal killing in Karbala. Yet, he's grateful. so grateful that Allah has made him an example that will live for eternity. You want to learn gratefulness? Gratitude? Look at Hussain. Look at Hussain. Inna al-Hussain misbah al-huda wa safinat al-najat. Look at him, he became an example. أحب الله من أحب حسينا. You love Hussain, Allah loves you. Everything is involved in his Sharia goes back to Hussain alayhi salam. Why? He gave everything. So what do you understand from Karbala, from this hero by the name of Hussain alayhi salam? No matter what happens in life, be grateful. You're not going to go through what Hussain went through. No one's ever going to go through what Hussain went through. If he can be grateful, and you believe that he's your master, you say, يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما. I wish I was with you, then I would have attained the levels that you have attained. Okay, we're not there. يا ليتنا, it's a wish, but let that wish become true in your life. Let it become true. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام.